This is a redirect video for Kenichi, the mightiest disciple, episode 5, 6, 7, and 8, 4 episode reaction. So yeah, we just got done watching the episodes, I should say. Very, very cool group episodes. I did call a couple things. I'm not gonna say it right at the back because you can go watch my reaction to it. I'm just, for some reason, proud of myself, even though it seems obvious. Anyways, click in the link in the description below to go watch my reaction to the episodes, and then come back here to see my full theories, ideas, thoughts, all that kind of stuff. So click away now or be spoiled as to what happened in these episodes. Okay, so, yeah, definitely the thing that I called was the, Sword Girl being called in, or whatever, to train Kenichi in the use of, or defense, or use, both of weapons and stuff. It's definitely something he needs to do because, like, this episode, episode 8, and I guess all these episodes kind of had a bit of it. All the bad guys, or the thugs in the background and everything, all had weapons and everything. So he definitely needs the training to defend against and attack. Well, maybe not attack with. He doesn't really need that, but he needs to train with weapons so that way he knows what to expect, kind of thing. If that makes sense. Like he knows the ways of sword play and everything like that. So that way he knows when he's up against a swordsman, he knows what to do to dodge it, kind of stuff. So he definitely needs all that. But yeah, it was really cool. We saw a new girl. I'm not sure what her name is right now. She was the one with the glasses that was with Kenichi in the garden area. Her voice is so familiar, and it's driving me insane on like the voice actor. If anything, I can ask Try, but like, it was driving me insane. I'm like, who is she? Because her voice sounds so freaking familiar. I feel like I've heard her voice somewhere, either from Fairy Tale or somewhere else. I'm not sure. So freaking familiar. Anyways, yeah, it was really cool to see. So this is my reaction too, but like, it was cool to see the different styles of combat, that kind of thing. Because like last week we saw Kenichi kind of train in the art of like, was it? I don't know the exact style that he trained in, but it was like that kind of like the fists and I'm trying to think of who. It was kind of like a mix between like 2 or 3 styles that he was kind of training in. And then this group of episodes, it was more so a little bit more of that, but more so with weapons and like defending against weapons, that kind of thing, and kind of more strength building, that kind of thing. So it's really cool to see more styles of combat for sure. And I definitely do want to see more with the Sword Girl. She's such an interesting character to me. So I love mystery. Like you guys know this. Like if you know my channel, I love mystery. Like mystery people kind of thing. And she's the most mystery of like this entire show. Obviously she doesn't have like a mask or anything like that, so she's not, I guess, too mystery. But no one knows anything about her very much. She's very monotone and like powerful and skillful and all this kind of stuff. So I do want to learn more about her and where she comes from and that kind of thing. Backstory stuff with her, basically. And I'm sure we're gonna get it because it is 50 episodes. So we're only 8 episodes in. So I'm sure we're gonna get some cool episodes with all the masters, not just the Sword Girl, but like all the masters in general. Like okay, let me pull up that one list that I had. Okay, so pull this up real quick. Okay. Yeah, Kenichi's little sister was Lucy, which is really funny. Big thanks to the person in the comments of last video, telling me the voices that I heard, that I didn't recognize right at the bat. I call out the ones I did recognize, like All Might and Elfman for the one master, and Mavis for the one girl. Can't remember her name either. Anyways, big thanks to I'm gonna mispronounce this again. I apologize. I didn't clear it up at all off camera. Vaco Gabe Elia Gabelia Gabelia. I don't know. I apologize profusely. You know I'm bad with names. I'm so sorry. But big thanks to you for the cool list that you made of all the characters that I would have recognized, kind of thing, from Fairy Tail and Ruby and Boku no Hero Academia and who else? Sorcerer's Classroom. So yeah, big thanks to you. Thank you. So yeah, so the redheaded girl, the one with like who's the leader of the bad guys. Are they kind of bad? I don't know if that's bad or not. The Ragnarok people, the leader of the Ragnarok. I believe that's the redheaded girl that you're referring to is Urza. I did hear that in her voice once I know like to listen for a certain character, I can pick it up in the voice pattern. But yeah, it was really cool to see that. I didn't catch that right away either. Because he's not. I refer to him as the blind guy, but he's not blind. As you mentioned here. Akisame. That name doesn't sound familiar. I don't know. Oh, maybe. I'm probably saying it wrong. Him. He's voiced by Jura and God, how do you pronounce Blake's dad's name? Oh gosh, I should know this. Is it just Jura? It's not Jura. Guy. How do you what? Is it really that? I'll look at that later. Anyways, Blake's dad from Ruby. So he voices Jura from Fairy Tail and Blake's dad for Ruby, and then the boxer guy is Kirishima from Assassin's Classroom, which is hilarious. I didn't pick up on that at all either. And the sword lady, Shuguri. Oh my god, they just said it like last. I'm bad with names. I'm sorry. She's Shelly from Fairy Tail. Which is I didn't pick up at all because Shelly's voice actor tends to be well, this isn't supposed to be sounding mean at all, but her voice is very her voice is not, it doesn't really stick out to me as much for some reason. Shelly's voice actor, we never got to hear too much of Shelly regardless. In the actual Fairy Tail, just a couple episodes here and there. So I guess even that could like hinder my my ears on picking up her voice again. And then we have the Chinese master, the pervert guy, basically the camera and everything. Kensai-ma? He's Margear in Fairy Tail and Crow in Ruby. Basically, he's God, what's his name? Ugh. I am so bad. He's Vic. There we go. His voice actor is Vic, which is very, very cool. I didn't pick up on that either. Vic is really, really good at like changing his voice and his voice patterns and that kind of thing. When it comes to characters and everything, he's also in Fullmetal Alchemist. So that's pretty awesome. And then Kenichi's dad is Hades from Fairy Tail. I didn't pick up on that at all. His voice is so different in this, so it's very hard to pick that. I did hear Lucy after you mentioned it, like I said. Like, no, when I first heard it, it just sounded like, another little girl, whatever like that. But it was cool to read this and then go back and listen to, or not go back, but like, see the little sister again, and then hear Lucy's voice once again. So, and then Kenichi himself is Tokiyami from Boku no Hero Academia, which I didn't pick up on that at all. So a lot of voices that I didn't pick up, which is a good thing for voice acting wise, because that way it means that the voice actors are so like uh diverse and like all this kind of stuff. It's hard to pick up on certain voices. Not saying that like the voice actor for Elfman or All Might, or this the buff guy with the scar across his face. Not to say that that him doing that voice is a bad thing. Regardless, it's a freaking badass voice, and I do love it. But yeah, it's hard for me to pick up on voices that are different from other shows. Um, Anyways, it was a good group of episodes. I do really want to know more about Shiguri. Sounds right. Shiguri. I'm probably getting it wrong. 100% probably getting it wrong. I apologize. Soul Lady. I would love to know more about her. Definitely, 100%. Like backstory, all that kind of stuff. She's an interesting character, and why the little mouse kind of thing. Would you guys consider that a mouse or a rat? That's what I was like. I was in my reaction. I was kind of like thinking, I'm like mouse or rat. Like I'm not sure. Um, so if it's kind of like out there that it's confirmed a mouse or confirmed a rat or confirmed a rodent of some description, let me know. Obviously, no spoilers on like if there is any spoilers for the mouse or whatever. Um, no spoilers in general. Do not talk about anything. No hints. No nothing. Don't even say like, "Hey, I can't wait until you get to this episode of this season," or But I know. I don't think Kenichi has seasons. Anyways, don't mention anything in the future. Don't be like, "Hey, I can't wait until you get to episode 10. You're gonna love it," kind of thing. Don't do that. You're overhyping an episode, and when they get to that point, I expect that hype, and then it ends up dying out or something like that. So to avoid that situation, don't talk about any future episodes. Don't even hint. Don't do anything for future content. Talk about these episodes and past episodes, so that way we can talk freely. And all that kind of stuff. So yeah, there's not much to talk about, I don't think. It's cool to see Miyu kind of like show more about her fighting techniques and everything like that. And I guess I did call it last episode that she's kind of been growing up in the dojo, with all these masters and everything, kind of like learning from them. So obviously she's like really badass, like in terms of like skill and everything. I'm still hardcore wondering about Kenichi and that like dazing effect that he keeps happening to people. I keep wondering if it is Miyu just behind him, like hit the back of their head like for like a split second, and then like when Kenichi when Kenichi like throws a punch like that, and then like Miyu kind of like hits the back of the neck, and it seems like he missed or didn't do very much to him, and then like all of a sudden they just kind of like pass out, or not pass out, but they get like very disoriented. So I'm wondering if it is Miyu or if it is legitly Kenichi having that effect on people. Again, do not confirm nor deny if that is Kenichi. I would definitely consider that to be a spoiler to some degree. So I'm just letting you guys know what's in my mind right now, what I'm thinking right now. So you guys have an idea of what's going on in my head. So that's kind of like one of the things that I'm wondering, and I hope that you touch on later on, in the anime itself, why people get kind of disoriented when fighting Kenichi, kind of thing, because it's happened twice so far. It's once when like last week, sorry, last group of episodes last week, when he landed a punch on somebody. No, wait, no, that wasn't him. Was that? No, that was this episode. That was this group episodes. He landed like a swift punch or like an uppercut kind of thing to somebody, and then they said like ouch, that hurt, or what about that. And he's like cocky, or not cocky, but he just kind of was it like he was starting to think that he can actually win if he keeps doing that kind of thing, or he's happy for himself because he like landed a good punch like for once. Anyways, he did that, and the guy started getting like all woozy and kind of like like out of it, and he like fell back for a second. Or did he go? He fell forward and then got up from that. Or no, he didn't get up from that. Was that when he passed out, and then we looked behind and he saw Miyu kind of fighting all the rest of them? Anyways, then we saw the kick fighter. He or Kenichi missed on him, like whiffed it, like almost hitting him, kind of thing. But he dodged out of the way. But then immediately became all disoriented and fell backwards or on his butt basically, and then got up to like notice that all the guys behind him were all like being defeated by Miyu. So I'm every time this disorientation thing happens, it's always Miyu in the background like fighting people. So I keep it in my mind thinking it might be Miyu doing it, but at the same time it could be Kenichi, like a some kind of latent ability that he's like hasn't like mastered yet, and or he doesn't know he's doing it, kind of thing, or some kind of technique that might make him the master of, and the rest of the masters don't know anything about it, kind of thing. I don't know. Anyways, I think that's it for this week. Thank you so much for watching. Tune in next week for at least 3 episodes. I'm not sure exactly what episodes we're going to be watching next week, but we'll get to it soon. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys next week for some more Kenichi, the mightiest design. Thank you so much for watching. Take care, everybody.